Hello and welcome to the very first episode of season 2 of Zungumza, the show where we inspire, challenge and entertain. I am and have always been your super host Gabriel Kanja. Now, over the past few months, we have had numerous controversial occurrences in Egerton University. To help us understand the issues actually on the ground, I have in studio with me today the president of the Student Council, a businessman, and Mr. Politician, Makoha Selas Oma. Welcome to the studio. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. So, Mr. Makoha, maybe just briefly tell us a brief history of yourself. Who are you?
Where you have been informed, I'm Makoha. I'm the chairman of the Students' Union. I'm fifth year pursuing mechanical engineering in the Faculty of Engineering and Technology.
So you're an engineer?
Yeah.
And just to start off my question segment with that engineering part, it is said and there are claims that Egerton University does not have accredited engineering courses. As an engineer, are these claims true? If so, what are you doing about it?
Yeah, the claims are very true. And what I can tell you about the status quo at the moment, for us to get accreditation, there are three criteria that we need to follow. Number one, we have to have a curriculum which is accepted by the EBK. Two, we have to have qualified staff. And three, we must also be having the equipment. But at the moment as we talk, something that is barring us from attaining the accreditation is all about the staff. And as you understand, we don't have many engineers in the country. So we are still sourcing for engineering staffs. And once we get the engineering staffs, we are very sure that the issue is going to be addressed.
So for the students that are doing engineering right now, are they wasting their time?
They are not wasting their time. In fact, I see light at the end of the tunnel. I have addressed this particular issue at a higher office. And one thing that we want to understand is that if you look at the EBK constitution of the way they are constituted in the EBK, you will find that most of the lecturers or the staffs who are in the EBK, they are from the universities that are already accredited. Mm-hmm. So these particular universities that are already accredited, they don't want other universities to attain the accreditation because they know that particular competition for the students. Therefore, I had to approach this particular issue and I talked to the DP if something that can be done.
The Deputy President, William Ruto.
William Ruto. Mm-hmm. And we are in that particular visit that he was to come last Friday. He was to come and address that particular issue. And you are to give the engineering hope at that particular moment.
But he did not come.
He did not come because of his PS funeral, which was that particular day, and he had to spend the whole day in that particular PS father's funeral.
Okay, so number 2, decision making. How are decisions made in Egerton University? And as a decision maker, what is your role as a student leader?
Number one, there are decisions which are made without inclusion of the student leaders. Those are the decisions that are being made at the management, that is University Management Board, UMB, and the decisions that are being made at the council. In the council and the UMB, there's no student representation in those two stakeholders that do make the decision. So most of the decisions are made and the communications are being made to the students.
Mm-hmm. But the student always end up blaming the student union. So what can you tell them?
I want to tell the students that if there is anything that they can do, is to look at a way where we can get students being involved in the UMB decision making, and in the council the way it was previously before they banned students from attending the council and the UMB.
So you are a member of the Senate?
I'm a member of the Senate.
Is that where your jurisdiction ends?
That is the far the students union can articulate their issues concerning the students. And the Senate, we only talk about the academics. It's only constituted of academic issues.
Okay. So you have been in commanding position in your university. Do you believe you have done your work well?
I have done my work. And I don't have even to brag about it. I have done perfectly.
You have done perfectly?
Perfectly.
So Mr. Makoha, as I understand the situation on the ground right now is that taxis have been barred from entering the university premises. What is your way forward?
Maybe just to give a brief history about the taxes and the banning of the taxes. This is not the first time we are receiving the news about the banning of the taxes. It was some times back in the February when the taxes were banned. We wrote the letter, we submitted to the administration. The taxes were allowed to come in, but this particular month when the taxes were being banned, there was change in the council. The chairman of the council was changed. And to let the students know, right now the chairman of the council is called Wario. This particular chairman of the council is from Garissa University, where there was a threat of attack when he was the chairman of the council. And he's very much passionate about the issue of insecurity. And he's saying that this particular there was a threat also after Garissa attack. There was a threat that they were coming to Egerton, if the people can remember very well. And he says that if the Al Shabaab have come here and attack the students, then definitely are going to use the taxis to come inside. They have also complained about reckless driving by the taxi people, stealing, which are being the students are doing the stealing in conjunction the tax people.
So as a student leader, is banning taxis and barring them from entering the university premises the ultimate decision? Don't you have an alternative?
We have talked about an alternative, and what we need to understand is, number one, when I go there to talk about the issue of the tax, I don't go there to talk about the issue of the tax. I go there to talk about the welfare of the students. These students the tax have been banned. Yes. What is an alternative? Then they gave me an alternative that they are going to release, I don't know, university vans or university buses to operate so that the students can be ferried from the gate to inside. An issue that is being worked on following the logistics.
Moving to a separate issue, we have seen first years complaining that they have charges on their portals that are not there for continuing students. We have Q charges and KUCCPS charges. So what are these charges and why are they in first year's portals?
Number one, Q charges. This is a commission for the university education. They always do a audit, university audit, yearly. So when they come for auditing, there is a fee that is being paid, and they pay 1,000 per student. So that is exactly what has been placed for the first years.
But we understand that these charges had initially been put in continuing students' portals and you intervened on their behalf and they were removed. Why are the continuing students not being charged for the same?
Number one, when we talk about the Q and the KUCPS charges, we had initially agreed with the management that these charges were going to, the management had initially informed us that these charges were only going to affect the first years. They were not going to affect the continuing students. That is why we had to agitate for that particular arrangement to be respected. If they were to the first years, let it be to the first years and affect only the first years that were there. Yeah.
So maybe to move on to a different issue, the kitchenettes. Students have been cooking for over 10 years now. Why have the kitchenettes been removed? Why now? What are you doing about it?
Number one, about the issue of kitchenette, it started as a rumor, and it was a shock to us as a union to learn about the banning of the kitchenettes when they were closed. We howled that particular night, and they were open for a few hours. The next day they were closed. The power was cut. And just to be brief and precise on what we are doing, we wrote a proposal to the university management because they complain about high charges that they are paying concerning the issues of kitchenette, and they cannot be able to sustain
Charges in terms of maintenance, electricity.
charges in terms of electricity and maintenance. So they say they cannot be able to sustain, and we wrote a proposal of cost sharing this particular charges, bills, electricity bill, and the maintenance. And we proposed that those who are residing inside the campus to pay 500 per semester. so that they can be able to subsidize the bills. But the proposal has not been accepted, and the alternative that we have been given, they're talking about an alternative source of power. And they have promised us that that particular alternative source of power will be available next year, and the kitchenettes will be operational from next year. This alternative source of power is not only going to operate on the kitchenettes. It is something that is going to be directed to the kitchenettes and lighting of the streets.
And maybe if I can ask, what is this alternative source of power?
They have not told us exactly what is this particular alternative source of power. They have told us that it is an international company which is coming to work on it. They are already in engagements, and right now they talked about signatures, and I believe it was just one signature which is remaining, and they'll be here. Just to give it a brief history about that particular story. Those international bodies, they came here. They had made an arrangement with the Vice Chancellor, Rose Mwanya. So, but when they came for that particular survey, Rose Mwanya by that time was suspended following the allegations of corruption, and those people could not continue with the exercise because whoever they were in engagement with, they wanted to continue the engagement with whoever was in the office. So that was exactly what led them to go away. But when I talked to the Vice Chancellor after the return, he said that they are back on the engagement and it is going to be actualized. And he said that that particular issue of the student cooking is still in her heart, and she will ensure that everything goes as to a slant.
So, Mr. Makoha, you pulled a demonstration 3 times to call back for kitchenettes. Of course, the demonstration happened, and maybe if we can just, before I ask the next question, if we can just watch a brief video of that demonstration, kindly. Of course, the demonstration was unsuccessful. So, is that it? Is that the farthest you can go? Does the student needs collapse at the demise of a mere demonstration?
Number one, when you are doing a demonstration, you are actually agitating for your right. And we did that particular demonstration. Just to give you a brief history, even in the Bible, Paul and Silas sang, then they prayed. So what we are actually doing on the streets, we are singing. Right now, we are praying. And we are deep into our prayer so that those genetics can be back.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Makoha. As we wind up the segment, maybe we can just move away from the issues of Egerton and tell us just briefly, as a person, what is your plan for 2022?
2022, I have started making links. Right now, I'm working with the county government.
Which county?
The Busia county government. On 28th of this particular December, the coming month of December, we have organized, with the conjunction of other youths who have organized Youth Declaration Day. We are going to declare as youths what we need. And in that particular meeting, we are going to have a number of rallies so that we can be able to mobilize the youths on their rights. I'm also going to declare as a youth what I need for the 2022.
So apart from politics, Mr. Makoha, are you in love? Are you seeing someone? Do you have a wife?
Of course, I'm in love. I'm in a serious relationship. Very serious.
Very serious relationship.
Very serious.
And maybe if you can just talk to your girlfriend on this camera, what would you tell her?
I can tell my girlfriend that I love her so much.
Just tell her on this camera.
Maybe I may not mention her name, but she's aware that I love her.
She's aware.
She's very much aware.
So finally, Mr. Makoha, and this is the last question. What is your final message to the students of Egerton University? Briefly as we wind up.
To the Egerton University students, one thing that I want to tell you that we always what we expect is not always what we get. Even me, when I was vying for the chairman position, there are a number of promises that I gave you, of course, but I never knew, lesser did I knew that those particular agendas that I had in mind, they involve the third party. And with involving the third party, it means that you have to lobby for the same. Sometimes you may win, sometimes you may lose. But for us, losing trust in the students' union, it is the weak point that we have. Number one, let us understand as the students that power belongs sovereignly to the students. And the students' union cannot be stable if the students themselves do not stand up for their rights, do not support the students' leadership. They are always there to criticize. Yes, it is part of the leadership, but we have to understand that we need to support our student leaders. Thank you.
So ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it from Mr. Makoha Silas himself that if you have to have a strong leadership, you must be willing and able to stand up for your rights. Well, that has been it. That has been our time here for today. Remember, you can always join our conversation on Twitter using #Zungumza. And you can always tag me at Gabriel Kanja at Koelib TV. Don't forget to watch these and many more videos on YouTube at our channel Koelib Media, Koelib TV. Until next time, goodbye. So, Mr. Makoha.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Karibu.